Hi everyone, Jessica Paquette joined here with trainer Ed Coletti. Now when we're handicapping a race, we can see blinkers on or blinkers off in a program, but that doesn't always give the whole story. There are a lot of different kinds of blinkers. Now Ed, you have a couple of different varieties here. Can you explain to me what they are and what the difference between them are?
Okay, yeah, so we have the 3/4 with no holes. Those are for horses that just look around way too much, that you don't want them ducking and diving when they're in the race, and other horses coming up behind them or alongside them. They're not real keen about that, so you put these on. Then we have here a French cup, which is cut back a little bit more, and it gives the horse a little bit less of a, you can see the horses coming alongside them, but they're a little worried about the jockey on their back sometimes, so they're more worried looking back. With these, they can't see the jockey, and it just keeps them focused on going straight ahead. And then you have the 3/4 cup with the holes, which just gives them a little bit more hindsight behind, so they know who's coming up and they get aggressive when horses come behind them.
Now what makes you want to put blinkers on a horse?
For me, it's because they just look around too much. They're not focused enough, and they get a little intimidated being inside horses or running up rails and stuff, so it just keeps them more focused on what they're supposed to do, go forward.
And sometimes we see blinkers coming off, even with an older horse. Now what can that do for them?
I think that just kind of, you're trying to do something different because they're just kind of in that stage where they're just going plotting through, and you take them off to try to pick their heads up to try to get them more into the race and horses around them.
Now there is more than just blinkers. You have another piece of equipment with you called a shadow roll. Why would you use this, and what purpose does this serve?
The shadow roll actually is a good purpose. There's a lot of shadows on the racetrack, and especially young horses, babies, they'll look down when they're galloping with their heads down, and when they run, they look down. And if they see something on the track, they kind of jump and try to jump over it, even though there's nothing there. So you put the shadow roll on so they don't see what's really in front of them, and they just look far ahead of them.
Now another piece of equipment are cheek pieces, which are sheepskin pieces kind of on the side of a bridle. How do you feel that those work in relation to blinkers, or similar to blinkers, or different than?
I'm not a real big fan of those. I know they have them on, it's kind of like a cheater blinker almost, like just a real short cup. And that's good, I think, for the same reason as the French cup, where you don't see the jockey, so they don't really pay attention to the jockey, but they can still see the horses come alongside.
So there's more to equipment than meets the eye, a lot of different kinds of blinkers. So pay close attention next time you're watching horses in the paddock. Now you know what purpose they serve.